Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Saving Sunderland. Now in today's episode we've got two legs against Bayer Leverkusen in the Champions League first knockout round. But of course we've got fixtures to review since we last met. And of course when we last met it was the 2-0 victory against Manchester United in the Premier League. We followed that up with a 1-0 defeat to Manchester United in the second leg of our League Cup semi-final. But fortunately, because we'd won 3-0 in the first leg, it didn't matter one little bit. So we are through to the League Cup final. Now, unlike previous years, I won't be live coming the League Cup final. It doesn't matter anymore. Our board don't care. I don't really care. The League Cup has become sort of a bit of a joke of a trophy, so I'm going to skip past that. You will of course see the result when I review the fixtures, but I won't be live coming. We then played Manchester United for the third game on the bounce and got beat 2-1 in the FA Cup fourth round. Now this was a rotated side. Unfortunately, we couldn't get ourselves back into it after Vignato gave us the lifeline in the 84th minute, but a double from Moussa Dembele had just killed us at this point, and the game was of few and far between in terms of chances, so I'm not too fussed. Unfortunately, our board did expect us to get the semi-finals, so that will leave us in bad stead, but how we're performing in the league and the Champions League, I think will leave them a bit more satisfied. We bounced back though in absolutely spectacular fashion, beating Everton 8-1 at home in the Premier League. 5 goals from Lincoln, getting himself a 10.0 rating, which is probably the first time I've seen it in one of my saves this year. Vignato got a goal, Phil Foden and Rob Holding completed the 8 goals for us. We then had a 2-0 home victory to Chelsea in the Premier League. Vignato getting the fastest goal of the season so far. I believe it was about 20 seconds into the match, and Jadon Sancho getting the other one. We then went away to Crystal Palace and beat them 1-0, a goal from Matteo Guendouzi in a game where we did not create enough. And in our final game before the Leverkusen ties, we played Tottenham Hotspur in the Premier League. We won this one 2-0, a goal from Jadon Sancho and Jel Rissen securing the victory. And all of that leaves us to today, where we will be playing Bayer Leverkusen in the first leg of our first knockout round in the Champions League. And this is how we're going to line up today. We'll start with Pickford in goal, Pfeiffer, Rios and Diaz at centre back, Althan's right wing back, Milagres left wing back, Phil Foden and Guendouzi in the centre with Vignato on the right, Sancho on the left and Sugo up top. Now if you take a look at Bayer Leverkusen's lineup, they have Dimitar Alexandrov, who they signed from us in the summer, alongside Francisco Trincao, who they signed from us in the summer, and they've also got Rasmussen and Christiansen on the bench, who of course I think went to Juventus first. Oh no, they went directly to Leverkusen for 19.5 million a couple of seasons ago, so they have a lot of our former players. Let's hope they don't come back to haunt me. So we kick off against Bayer Leverkusen, shooting from left to right. We are, of course, away in the first leg, which is what I prefer. I'd like to know what we have to do at home to be able to secure our spot in the quarterfinals. 6 minutes in, Maximiliano Sugo gets himself injured, so Lincoln's going to jump straight in there. He's in a rich vein of form anyways, so I'm not too fussed about that. Highlight now, Guendouzi's on the edge, he takes the strike, and that is actually going to count. I thought it would have been offside, but we've somehow managed to get ourselves in front in the first 30 minutes. Let's see how this played out. Vignato to Guendouzi on the edge, just bounces all over, finds its way to Matteo Rios. Very fortunate goal, but they all count. Another highlight, Bayer Leverkusen have the ball deep inside their own half, but they've played about nicely and they've got a lot of space on this right hand side. Graziano back to Alexandrov. Isaac's now in behind the defence, he can get the ball in the box, and Heinze gets beyond his defender, gets there first, and Oscar Pfeiffer actually scores the own goal. As we can see here, they had a ton of space on this right hand side. Graziano to Alexandrov, plays it down the line to Alexander Isaac, who manages to get the ball in the box, and Oscar Pfeiffer with the sliding challenge, putting it into the far corner. Disappointing. Another highlight now. We've got 2 minutes left of this first half. Can we make a good chance out of this? Phil Foden's in the centre, finds Jadon Sancho on the left hand side. Back to Phil Foden. Finds Lincoln up top. There's space on this right hand side for Vignato. If he can get in, he gets in, but he can't score against his former club. And that is going to be that for half time. I'm pleased with the result so far. I would take a 1-1 away from home, but of course if we can get the victory, that will be much nicer. Highlight now, Phil Foden with a free kick, but Bayer Leverkusen can clear, and this might be a counter-attacking opportunity. Heinz is up front, he's got no support whatsoever, and Phil Foden manages to get in there and get the challenge. Lincoln now has found the ball deep in Bayer Leverkusen's half. He tries to play it in Sancho in behind the right back, but it's not good enough. Guendouzi dispossesses a loose pass from Bayer Leverkusen, and Lincoln almost makes it 2-1. We're getting into the 70th minute now, and there's going to be another highlight. I will be making some substitutions after this. Bayer Leverkusen have the ball quite high up the pitch. Alexandrov's got all the time in the world, but it goes straight to Jordan Pickford. Phil Foden now's driving forward down his left-hand side. He finds Sancho, who finds Lincoln. Oh, good cut out by Wallace. Althans has got the ball on the right-hand side now. It's dispossessed by Bayer Leverkusen. The ball is changing hands every 2 seconds, but we'll manage to calm it down with Phil Foden to Sancho. Finds Lincoln, Guendouzi's overlapping. That's 2-1 Sunderland, and we have taken the driving seat in this Champions League tie. As we can see here, some very calm play from Phil Foden. We were just giving the ball away before this, so he calmed things down. Finds Sancho, Lincoln, Guendouzi with an excellent overlap. Makes it 2-1, we're in the lead. So 71 minutes in, I'm going to make some changes, freshen things up a little. We'll get Reece Nelson on for Vignato and Zahir on for Phil Foden. Guendouzi literally picks up a knock just after, but he's going to have to stay out there for the rest of the match if possible. Milagres tries to play in the ball, but it's cleared by Bayer Leverkusen. Heinz dispossesses Rios. He absolutely dilly-dallied on the ball. Heinz is through, but Pickford with a good save. 85 minutes in, and we'll have another highlight. Bayer Leverkusen have the ball very deep in their own half. Isaac's got it up at the edge of the box. He takes the strike, but it's just wide. 1 minute to go of extra time. Hopefully this won't be a highlight that means anything. But Alexandrov's found a lot of space down this right hand side. He gets the ball in back post. Bayer Leverkusen should be 2-2. And that is going to be that. Sunderland 2, Bayer Leverkusen 1. We've got a 1-goal lead going into our home tie. Now I believe I've got 4 games in between this game and the second leg, so I'll bring you them as I play them. Well, we've just played Stoke City in the Premier League after that game against Bayer Leverkusen. Unfortunately, we could not break them down. We dominated the game. We had a lot of highlights and a lot of chances. We just couldn't put any away. And this is the first time we haven't won the league for quite some time. So I've just played Liverpool in the League Cup final, and unfortunately we got beat 1-0. A goal from Lucas Moura in the 75th minute secured the victory for Liverpool. I did start a second string side, so it goes to show how much I'm not too bothered by this. But I am disappointed to get beat in the final. It would have been nice to have another trophy, but here, we haven't got it this year. So we've just played Burnley in the Premier League at home, and we won this game 6-0. Goals from Phil Foden, a hat-trick for Vignato, Sancho with 1 and Guendouzi with 1 secured the 3 points today. Easy win, easy game, just what we need. So we're coming to the end of the match against Liverpool. We have succeeded and we have won 4-2 against them. A hat-trick for Jadon Sancho and a goal from Ruben Dias securing the victory. Wack and Correa got a double, which made it a nervy last 10 minutes or so, but we managed to come through the game unscathed. So we'll go up against Bayer Leverkusen in the second leg of our Champions League first knockout round, and this is how we are going to line up today. Jordan Pickford will start in goal. Mateo Rios, Ruben Dias and Christian Nevas will get the start at centre-back. This is due to Oscar Pfeiffer being suspended. Michael Althans right wing back, Milagres left wing back, Guendouzi and Mohamed Zahir in central midfield, Vignato and Sancho on the wings and Lincoln up top. Actually, I'm going to make a quick last minute change. I'm going to start Jose Luis instead of Nievas. I believe Luis has got more potential, and whilst he might not be better currently, he's definitely got the more impressive physicals. They start pretty much as they did in the first round, of course, with Dimitar Alexandrov and Francisco Trincao trying to torment us, but hopefully it won't happen and we can get the victory and through to the Champions League quarterfinals. So we'll kick off against Bayer Leverkusen. We are of course shooting from left to right. Come on boys, just see this game out, nothing too fancy, I just want to get through. Highlight inside the first 10 minutes, it goes Bayer Leverkusen's way. Alexandrov's got the ball on his right hand side. He takes on Milagres, but Jose Luis can cut out the cross. A big kick up from Pickford to Lincoln, who knocks it down to Sancho. Absolutely lovely. Sancho now he bursts in. He beats more than one player, but it's a good challenge from the defence. Althans now. He's got the ball on the right hand side. Plays it to Vignato. Can he get the ball in? He can, but it's cleared. Zahir makes a good challenge and Althans can start again. Zahir to Lincoln on this right hand side. Vignato's got the space. He plays it to Sancho in the box. That's 1-0 Sunderland, 3-1 in aggregate, and we have taken the first step to the quarter-final. As you can see here, Guendouzi plays it to Zahir, who finds Lincoln, who excellent pass to Vignato, and Sancho plays it into the back of the net. Easy as you like. 1-0 Sunderland. Highlight now, Milagres on this left hand side, plays it to Zahir, back to Milagres, Guendouzi's got on the edge, Althans, someone take a strike, Althans does, makes it 2-0 Sunderland, makes it 4-1 in aggregate. We are cruising. As you can see here, it's a throw in from Milagres on the left hand side to Zahir, back to Milagres, Guendouzi to Althans. Excellent finish from our right back. Jordan Sancho has unfortunately picked up a knock. We're going to get Luis Enrique Aranz on in his place. Highlights are here with a free kick on the edge. It's cleared by Bayer Leverkusen. We can build on this left hand side though. Luis Enrique Aranz with the ball into the box and Lincoln hits the bar. And that's going to be that for the first half. We are 2-0 up in this game, 4-1 up in aggregate. I'll get the boys G'd up and we'll kick off the second half. And of course, we'll be shooting from right to left. Highlight Trincao on the left hand side, plays it in. Milagres plays it back to Pickford. And that was a nervous one. Lincoln's now got it, he's running at the defence. He's got the beating of 2 men, but he can't get the shot on target. Highlight now by Leverkusen high up the pitch. They played out Alexandrov on his right hand side to Isaac. He's got it on the edge of the box. He takes the strike, but I believe Pickford would have had it covered anyway. Another injury, this time to Vignato, our 2 key men really that were signed in the summer. Both injured. I hope it's nothing too serious. Highlight now, Bayer Leverkusen pushing again. Christensen with the ball into the back post. Myzian Moleda, aye, that's what we're going to go on with. He ends up getting the goal in the back of the net. Unfortunate for us, but we're still 4-2 up. There's only 10 minutes left with nothing crazy. Pickford just absolutely flaps at that. It's a highlight straight from kickoff, and I hope to God it's for us. Zahire's got it in the central of midfield, finds Milagres on the left hand side, who picks Aranz out on the edge of the box, finds Nielsen in the box, but it's offside. 80th minute, another highlight. We give the ball away sloppily, but we can win it back. Zahir now high up the pitch, plays in Guendouzi, but Alexandrov can cut it out. Wallace now plays a lovely through ball for Isaac over our defence, and Isaac takes the cross, but Pickford can just collect. And is that going to be the end of highlight? Nelson now on his right hand side cuts in, finds Zahir in the centre, Milagres to Aranz to Lincoln. He's got the overlap, but he finds Aranz in the box. He takes the strike and Leno saves. I wish the highlights would just stop, but we've got Lincoln now. He gets challenged. Alexandrov with a big punt up over the top, and it manages to find its man Heinze in the box to Alexander Isaac. It's 4-3, and now it's really getting serious. As you can see here, Dimitar Alexandrov with a absolute hoof up the pitch, but Heinze takes it down well. Althans can't get back and defend the cross, and Isaac puts it in the back of the net. If they score again, we're out. Another highlight. Straight away, stop with the highlights. Christensen finds Guendouzi. Lincoln hits the post. Oh my God, a highlight in the 92nd minute. Bayer Leverkusen have the ball with Isaac up top. He finds it OR. Charging forward, he takes the strike. Thank God it went wide. Highlight, 30 seconds to go. Zahir. Can Bayer Leverkusen counter? Heinz is on it now. Myzian, he's got the ball on the left hand side. He's got the beating of his man. He finds Alexander Isaac in the box. And oh my God, I thought we were going out there. I really did. Bayer Leverkusen still playing it about. But that's the final whistle. Thank God for that. Finishes 2-2 on the night, 4-3 on aggregate. We made a meal of that. So we'll go through to the next round. We will of course be bringing you the Champions League quarter-final in our next episode. The draw is not until just before the Swansea game, so you'll see the draw at the beginning of next episode. Well, a nervy game against Leverkusen in that second leg, but we did do enough to get through on the night. If you have enjoyed today's video, please consider leaving a like, and if you enjoy my content, why not get yourself subscribed? But until next time, take it easy.